What's going on, everybody? Brandon here, back with another action figure review. In front of us, the all-new 5-pack from the upcoming Superman movie, Heroes vs. Villains. Very interesting set that we have here. The character choices that were chosen for this pack, very, very interesting. These are 3-inch figures. It is a pack of 5. Very, very interesting. We do get Ultraman, we do get the Engineer, we do get Robot number 4 completely built out. So I'm really excited to look at these. There's not a lot that we know so far about these characters, especially Ultraman. I've got like a hypothesis that I will share with you guys later when I'm reviewing the Ultraman figures. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think about these figures and why we got them. I wish it would have been 3.75 or 4-inch figures, but nevertheless, these are still cool. They should line up well with McFarlane's Page Puncher. So let's dive on in and take a closer look. All right, we got our figures out of the packaging. They look fantastic. Let's dive on in and take a closer look. First up, taking a look at Robot number 4. These are very, very small figures. So definitely if you're a parent, err on the side of caution with your little ones. I myself have little ones and I fear for the same thing as well. Little parts generated. So pay attention to that thing on the box. It tells you the age that kids should have this at. It says 4 plus. Right there, yeah, it says ages 4 and up for this set. So pay attention to that. Be careful. Be aware. This guy, unfortunately, number 4, he's behaving for me right now, but usually he has a really hard time standing up. So very interesting. The articulation on him is actually really good. I was very impressed. So he's got movement in his head that moves forward and back like this, which is pretty cool. They're so small. I gotta make sure we get focus in there. There we go. All right. So he's got movement in his head. He's got movement in his arms. It goes up and down, full 360. Very nice. Does he have movement in his waist? No, no movement in his waist. But his legs do come forward. The cape, unfortunately, is plastic, so that does make the articulation hard to maneuver around with his legs. There we go. That one works better than the other. But yeah, so he's got 5 POA for a 3-inch figure. That is very impressive. And even better is some of the other ones that we look at here in a minute. But overall, not bad for Robot number 4. No peg holes in the bottom of the feet, which is unfortunate, especially because he's a hard one to stand up. But overall, I really do like the look of this figure. I'll try to give you one more up close look so you can see up and down just how cool this guy looks. They really didn't skip very many paint apps. Again, the cape is a hard plastic, so I can't even bend it up like to see the back half of the figure. But it does look really cool overall. Very happy to have Robot number 4. Like this in the 5-pack, you could definitely army build. So that is cool. And overall, just a really nice looking figure. Next, taking a look at Mr. Terrific. Really cool looking figure. They did a great job with this one. I was very impressed. He does look really good for such a small scale. It does say fair play on his arms, and there's no articulation in the elbows, so they could do that without it looking weird at all. So that is great. Looks really good. There's no peg holes at the bottom of the feet, unfortunately, for this one. And on the back side, I was kind of surprised they skipped out. It doesn't say terrific on the back of his jacket. Why? I don't know. But whatever, I guess. Like, everything else is pretty cool about this figure. Face sculpt looks awesome. There's movement in his head side to side. His arms have a full 360, so that's great. His legs come forward. They don't really go back, but there's a bend at the knee. I did not expect there to be knee articulation in these little figures, so that is really cool. So he sports a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 POA. So that is really cool. All in all, a really nice looking figure. Really happy to have these guys. They make great pocket figures for sure. This guy looks fantastic. Up next, taking a look at Superman. Mine likely suffers from some kind of odd paint apps in the face, probably in the eyes. Yeah, just a little odd. And some scuffing. He's got something in his ear. He's got something on his forehead. He's having a hard day. But overall, not too bad of a figure. He does look really cool. No peg holes in the bottom of the feet. I worried that they'd skip the S on the back of the cape. Oh, there goes robot number 4. I told you he has a hard time standing up. This cape, though, is really cool. Unlike robot number 4's, it's textured, and it's got some really nice design to it. I'm going to see if I can get in closer there so you can see. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it's kind of like a diamond texture all throughout that cape. So that is really cool. And this one is like a softer rubber. So you could like bend the cape back and see Superman's underside, the other half of the figure. It is ported into his back. And it would take a little bit of work to take off that cape, but I imagine it could be done if you really needed to do it. Put a cloth cape on there. So yeah, overall, not too bad of a figure. I just want to get in there with the right lighting and show you guys what it really looks like. These are such small figures, so definitely difficult to film, but I am trying my best. So he's got movement in his head side to side. His arms go forward and back like this, hindered by the cape, of course. But there should be a full 360 in the shoulder if not hindered by the cape. And then the legs come forward. They don't really go back. Ooh, the legs go out? The legs go out. What? That's cool. Mr. Terrific, the legs go out? The legs go out. What? So that means these guys have way more articulation than I thought they did. So that means we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9 POA instead of 7. We got 9. That is very impressive for a 3-inch figure, man. That is so cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Very cool. Superman is a great looking figure. There's going to be a Fortress of Solitude playset that I got coming. I think I got the Walmart exclusive set coming first, so we'll get to check out these figures in that playset. Superman does look really good overall. All right, next up, Ultraman. If you stuck around this far, I did promise you in the beginning of the video, I had like an idea or a hypothesis about Ultraman and who he could be. So there's a couple things that I take into account with this. Let me get in close on the costume to show you the details. It looks like a black costume in the set photos that we've seen so far. But here it's definitely like purple and like maybe like another lighter shade of purple and then a silver U with a dot in the middle, which is like very reminiscent for me of like the Omega symbol or like half of it, which is really interesting. So no peg holes at the bottom of the feet. And here's a look at the backside. Any other secrets here that might help us? No. All right. So if you know Ultraman in DC Comics, Ultraman is a variant of Superman from another world. He's got a whole Injustice League, and he's a pretty bad guy. He's ruthless. He's like Injustice Superman, basically. He's a bad guy. Power, greed, corruption, all of that. That's what his main focus is. So very interesting. So he, for me, like if they did this on screen, and they made him a variant, and they made it Henry Cavill Superman, people would lose their minds. How crazy would that be if it was Cavill Superman? And there's a couple takes on it. The first take is like Darkseid's Omega, whatever. Like finally, what is it called? Somebody's gonna correct me in the comments for sure. He figured it out in one of the DC comics. Shoot, what is it called? The anti-life equation. Darkseid figures out his anti-life equation. He uses it. He mind controls Superman. There's another version of Superman that where he's like taken by Darkseid, and he has a full black costume, kind of like this, but it's a little bit different. And he's got like a lightning bolt S, and he's got like some horns out of the side of his helmet. But yeah, so it could be like a Darkseid controlled Superman, and he's calling himself Ultraman as a code name, or maybe that's who he always was in that other world. Or we go straight from the previous DC universe where Superman Henry Cavill has a clash with Black Adam. And in that clash, accidentally Lois gets killed Superman gets enraged, freaks out, becomes Ultraman, and then his revenge thing is probably like to kill Adriana Tomas just to upset Black Adam. And then he kills Black Adam. And then he becomes Ultraman. And then his quest just goes on and on. Maybe Darkseid's involved somehow, but man, people would lose it in the theater if it turns out that it's Henry Cavill fighting David Cornsweet. That'd be pretty cool. Again, just my hypothesis, just a thought. If I'm right, I'm not affiliated with anything or anyone. So yeah, just my thoughts there. It does kind of look like there's a U back there or something. The articulation on this guy is really good overall. I really do like that a lot. Thanks for being a fan of the channel if you are. Save that hypothesis for the first Ultraman figure that I got to review, so I'm really happy to share that with you guys here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you think maybe what I said is right, or at least half right. Maybe it'll be a different guy altogether, someone we've never seen before. Maybe it'll be David again with the mask off, and you're like, what? Superman's fighting Superman, and no one expects it to be him. But I do. I definitely expect this to be an alternate Superman from another reality. So that's got to be our Ultraman. All right, next up, the Engineer. I don't know too much about this character, just a little bit, and who knows what movie take they're going to put on it already. She's like not all silver like her comic book counterpart, so that is going to be interesting. There were two different Engineers in the comics. The first one was a dude, and I believe he was killed, and then this second Engineer is supposed to be the successor to that guy. So all I know is that she is involved with or is a member of the Authority, which is going to be cool because that is James Gunn's thing. One of his movies that he wants to do is the Authority. So that will be really cool to see, or Superman and the Authority, even better. Yeah, so that'll be very, very interesting to see. And she uses like nanotech powers or like technology. So like it's kind of like Cyborg a little bit, and like the tech that comes out of her. So that will be really interesting to see. Hopefully they don't make her a female cyborg and they make her her own thing, as it should be. But overall, very nice articulation, very cool looking figure. I can't wait to get the 6-inch figure, and then we can kind of like finally see like an even better or more up close look at her costume and design. Man, we definitely need like a silver variant. That'd be great. Mine, unfortunately, sucks from some quality control. She's got some scuffs up there on her forehead and a bunch on her cheek. So I don't know why that is, but overall, happy to have the figure. No peg holes in the bottom of the feet, unfortunately. Great articulation on these figures. Again, I am wildly impressed overall. These guys look fantastic. All right, for a size comparison with the McFarlane Page Punchers, these guys look fantastic side by side. I got Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor, and Black Adam. They look great with these guys. Oh my goodness, like 1-to-1. I am way more excited for these playsets that we're going to get now in the 3-inch scale, and I'm really happy to be able to use the McFarlane Page Punchers with them together. These guys look phenomenal. And then, of course, a Spin Master 4-inch comparison. I've got the old sculpts for Green Lantern, Batman, and Superman on the left, and the new sculpts for Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern on the right. So we can compare these 4-inch figures with our new 3-inch Superman movie figures. Not too bad overall. They do look pretty good together side by side. If you're a Spin Master collector, definitely you want to get these ones to add to your collection. Here's a comparison with the Spin Master 6-inch basic figures. Really cool to see these guys side by side. They look great together. Really happy with this line so far and collecting all of the different sizes. All right, for another comparison, I have the Justice League Unlimited metal figures. Those are also in the 3-inch scale. And I've got a Shazam from DC Direct. I think it was called Who's Who. I'm not quite sure, but those were little mystery boxes that you could get back in the day. So very excited to have these guys here side by side. They fit in very nicely. For our next comparison, we have some of those DC nano metal figures by Jada. That's the Black Adam and the Shazam over on the left, and the Superman right next to the 3-inch Superman. And then I also got a couple of Hero Click figures in there for you, Black Adam and Mary. That way you can kind of get a better idea and gauge whether or not these might work with anything else. They really don't. It's got to be in that 3-inch scale, unfortunately, to match up well. But yeah, nevertheless, here they are together. All right, for another comparison here, we have some Imaginext figures: Shazam, Black Adam, Superman Prime, Superboy Prime, and the Flash. And then in the middle there, this Shazam and this Black Adam, they're from Dollar Tree or Dollar General or anywhere that you can get dollar figures. Those guys actually fit in a little bit nicer, and you could probably like finagle them for some toy photography with the new Superman movie figures if you wanted. They're just a little bit smaller, and then of course being pre-posed and on stands kind of makes it a little bit trickier, but still it could work. So very interesting. Just wanted to show you some more comparisons with these new 3-inch figures. All right, here's another comparison. The figures with the clear stands are from the Black Adam movie. Those ones were put out in a 5-pack by Spin Master. The ones with the black stands, those ones I think are from Malaysia or Taiwan or something. And then they went on the top of cups at the Cinemark or movie theater or wherever. But yeah, so they're small figures. I thought maybe once I thought about, these figures that Spin Master put out, I thought maybe they might fit in, but no, they're too small. So no, crazy as it sounds, to date Spin Master has never made a 3-inch figure or anything that really lines up well with these new figures. So very, very interesting. All right, here's a fun one. These are fast food toys from Mexico in the 90s, DC superheroes. Very interesting. If you finagle some toy photography, it might work out with some of these guys. Very interesting. All right, one more comparison here. We got a couple of things going on. The Krypto, I'm not sure where it's from. I just came with a bag of parts that I ordered. I want to say it's from DC Super Friends, and I really don't know anything else. Let me see if this can help you. No, it doesn't. It just says TM and DC Comics. There's not a year, there's not a maker, there's nothing. But that's okay. So if you need to do some research and figure out small Krypto figures, he's maybe an inch tall or less. And then we also got these guys: Red Hood, Batman Beyond, the Silver Man Bat, and the Tim Drake Red Robin. These guys were part of those canisters, blind box things that you could get that Spin Master started with when they first got the license. I kept thinking, gears turning in my head, like, has Spin Master really ever done anything in the 3-inch scale? No, they haven't. Even these figures were a little bit smaller. I want to say that they're 2-inch. So there you can see those side by side. And then I also got a couple of bootleg old pencil toppers, Batman and Superman in there just for fun. So very cool, trying to compare these guys to my collection and see where they might fit in. And here's another comparison with the 12-inch Kaiju monster. These 3-inch figures look like they are getting destroyed by a huge monster, and it looks awesome. They definitely fit in well with the Kaiju. All right, you guys, that about does it for this review. Heroes versus Villains, the 3-inch 5-pack from Spin Master for the all-new DC Studios Superman movie. I got this set on Amazon for 15 bucks. 15 bucks for 5 figures. Pretty sweet deal, I'm not going to lie. I was very happy to get these guys. Definitely stoked. It's like my first time getting Robot 4, the Engineer, and Ultraman from this movie, so I was really, really stoked to take a look at this set. Thank you for following along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you're going to pick up or pass on this set, what you're finding online and in your local areas. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, you guys, the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, all the support on the channel has been absolutely phenomenal. So thank you, each and every one of you. As I find more new cool and awesome stuff, and I still got a bunch of Superman stuff to review, I'll bring it to you right here. Once again, I'm Brandon. Thanks for watching.